Okay, so let's get right into it. Today we're going to take a deep dive into SoftWave therapy.
Yeah.
Specifically for chronic lower back pain.
All right.
And that's the kind that just lingers and lingers.
Yeah.
It's a massive problem, honestly. And it's a real pain in the... Well, you get the picture.
Yeah. And what's so fascinating about SoftWave is that it's a very specific type of extracorporeal shockwave therapy.
Okay.
ESWT for short. And it's really showing a lot of promise as a solution.
I like that.
For this persistent lower back pain.
Yeah. Before we even get too far, I think it's important for everyone to understand just how big of a problem this is.
Yeah.
We're not talking about like, you threw your back out or you just had like a long day and your back is achy.
Right.
This is persistent pain that impacts every aspect of someone's life.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the research we've got here shows that low back pain is actually one of the leading causes of disability globally.
Wow.
Yeah, it affects people of all ages, you know, and just puts a massive strain on, healthcare systems around the world.
It's crazy when you think about the millions of people struggling with this every single day.
Yeah.
So how does SoftWave even work? Can you break that down for us?
Sure. So all shockwave therapies, including SoftWave, work on the principle of delivering therapeutic energy waves to the affected area. It's basically like sending a focused burst of energy that triggers the body's natural healing processes.
Interesting.
Wow.
So it's not masking the pain, it's actually going in and helping the body to heal itself.
Exactly. It's triggering the body to kind of kickstart its own repair mechanisms.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
But what makes SoftWave different? Because there's a lot of different types of shockwave therapies out there.
Right. So what sets SoftWave apart is its patented design. It uses something called a parabolic reflector to distribute the energy in a very unique way. And this allows it to reach both superficial and deep tissues.
So it's very targeted.
Very targeted. Pinpoint accuracy.
So you're not just kind of treating the surface level, you're really getting down into the root of the problem.
Exactly. Yeah. And that deeper penetration is actually where things get really, really interesting.
Okay.
Because some research is suggesting that SoftWave may actually stimulate stem cell production in the area that's being treated.
Wait, hold on. Stem cells?
Stem cells, yeah.
That's like the holy grail of healing. We're talking regenerative medicine.
I know. It's incredible, right?
Are you saying this non-invasive therapy could potentially tap into that?
That's what the research is showing. And it's early days, but the initial findings are very compelling.
Right.
Stem cells are the body's master builders. They can differentiate into all kinds of different cell types that are needed to repair and regenerate damaged tissues.
So if SoftWave can truly harness that power, we're talking about a whole new level of healing. Not just managing the pain, but actually regenerating the tissue.
Exactly. It could be a total game changer.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Imagine being able to accelerate healing.
Yeah.
Potentially reduce or eliminate the need for, more invasive procedures.
Right.
Get people back to their lives faster and stronger.
This is blowing my mind a little bit. So, okay, let's get specific. What does the research say about SoftWave's effectiveness for treating chronic lower back pain?
Okay, so there's a really interesting meta-analysis of 10 randomized controlled trials. Which is, the gold standard of research.
Of course.
And it found that SoftWave treatment provided significant pain reduction within 1 month. And then improvement in disability at 3 months compared to other treatments.
So not only are people feeling less pain, but their functionality is improving too.
Exactly. It's addressing both sides of the problem.
Okay, so that's the win-win. But are there any downsides? What about side effects?
That's one of the best things about SoftWave. It's generally considered to be very safe.
Good.
Minimal side effects. Now, some people might experience some mild discomfort during the treatment itself.
Sure.
But it's usually very temporary.
Okay, that's reassuring. Yeah. Especially when you consider the potential benefits we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Now, if this technology is as safe and effective as it sounds, who's already using it? Are we talking fringe clinics, or is this hitting the mainstream?
You might be surprised to hear that SoftWave is actually being used by some of the top sports organizations in the world.
Okay, who got it?
We're talking MLB, NFL, NBA, NHL, even the UFC.
Wow, that's a serious stamp of approval.
Yeah.
These are organizations that are all about peak performance and quick recovery.
Exactly.
So if they're embracing SoftWave, it speaks volumes.
It really does. I mean, they need their athletes back on the field or the court as quickly as possible.
Right.
And they need something that's both effective and safe. And that's where SoftWave comes in.
So it sounds like SoftWave could be a real game changer for people who are struggling with chronic lower back pain.
Yeah, I think so.
Offering this non-invasive, comfortable, and potentially highly effective alternative
Yeah.
to traditional treatments.
Absolutely. And, the potential to actually stimulate stem cell production just adds another layer.
It does.
To the conversation. It could really revolutionize how we think about healing.
Yeah, it really could. This is all incredibly fascinating, but I want to bring it back to the listener for a moment.
Sure.
Because you were dealing with this pain day in and day out.
Yeah.
What stands out to you about what we've discussed so far?
Well, I think the most important takeaway is that there is hope.
Okay.
For a long time, people with chronic lower back pain have been told to just live with it,
right,
to manage the pain. But SoftWave is offering something different. It's offering the potential for real healing,
right,
for actual tissue regeneration, and that's a game changer.
And it's non-invasive, it's safe, and it's backed by science.
Exactly.
So, if you've tried other therapies and haven't found relief, don't give up.
Yeah.
There are new and innovative options out there, like SoftWave, that could make a real difference in your life.
And I think the other thing that's really important is that SoftWave isn't a one-size-fits-all solution.
Go ahead.
It's essential to work with a qualified provider who can assess your individual needs, develop a personalized treatment plan,
That makes sense.
and integrate SoftWave with other therapies as needed.
So it's not just about the technology itself. It's about the approach.
Exactly. It's a holistic approach to healing.
I like it. So for those of you listening who are thinking, okay, this all sounds great, but where do I even begin?
Yeah.
How do I find a SoftWave provider?
Well, the good news is that SoftWave has a growing network of providers across the country.
Okay.
And they have a really user-friendly website where you can search for a provider near you.
That's fantastic.
Just go to their website and you can find all the information you need.
Having that easy access to information is so important.
It is.
But let's say you found a provider, you've had your SoftWave treatment, and you're feeling some relief. What's next?
Well, that's where it becomes crucial to have a comprehensive treatment plan.
Okay.
Remember, SoftWave isn't a magic bullet.
Sure.
It's often most effective when combined with other therapies like physical therapy, for example.
Right. So it's not a one and done situation.
Yeah, exactly. It's about working with your healthcare team to develop a personalized plan that addresses your specific needs and goals.
And that might include things like targeted exercises, stretches, or even lifestyle modifications.
Absolutely. Anything that can help support the healing process and prevent future issues.
Right. So we've talked extensively about SoftWave's impact on chronic lower back pain, but you mentioned earlier it has other applications too.
Yeah, it does.
So let's dive into some of those. What are some other conditions where SoftWave is showing promise?
Okay, well, we talked about diabetic foot ulcers, which are notoriously difficult to heal.
Yeah, they are.
Traditional treatments often have limited success.
Yeah.
And, in severe cases, amputation can become a real possibility.
That's scary.
It is. It's very scary. But the research on SoftWave for diabetic foot ulcers is really encouraging.
So you're saying SoftWave could offer a better solution?
It seems that SoftWave's ability to increase blood flow and stimulate tissue regeneration is really proving to be very beneficial in healing those stubborn ulcers.
Wow, that's incredible. Giving people hope where they might have felt hopeless before.
Exactly.
Are there any other applications?
Yes. Another area where SoftWave is making a big difference is in the treatment of second-degree burns.
Oh, yeah. I've read a bit about that.
Right.
It could potentially speed up healing,
Yes.
reduce scarring, and even decrease the need for skin grafts.
That's right. It's really changing the game when it comes to burn care,
Yeah,
Faster recovery, times less pain, and improved cosmetic outcomes for patients.
that's fantastic.
It is. So while our focus today has been on chronic lower back pain, it's clear that SoftWave's potential extends far beyond that.
It's almost like we've stumbled upon a multi-tool of healing.
I love that analogy. It really is like a multi-tool. And what's really exciting is that we're only just beginning to understand the full scope of what SoftWave can do.
It's like we've opened this door to a whole new world of possibilities.
Exactly. And this research is highlighting how crucial it is to be open to new and innovative treatment options, particularly those that harness the body's own incredible healing power.
Right.
SoftWave is a perfect example of that.
One thing that's been kind of running through my mind as we've been talking is that SoftWave seems to be particularly effective in treating conditions that involve tendons.
Oh, absolutely.
Have you noticed that as well?
Absolutely. We see it in the research on plantar fasciitis,
Right.
Achilles tendinopathy,
Yep.
even tennis elbow.
Oh, yeah.
All these conditions that are notoriously difficult to treat.
they can be debilitating.
Yeah.
Keeping people from doing the things that they love.
Exactly. And they often don't respond well to traditional methods like rest ice or medication.
Yeah.
But SoftWave seems to be making a real difference.
So why do you think that is? What is it about SoftWave that makes it so effective for tendon issues?
Well, tendons are primarily made up of collagen.
Right.
Which is, this tough, fibrous protein that gives them their strength and flexibility.
Right.
And it seems that SoftWave's ability to stimulate collagen production is key.
So it's giving those tendons the building blocks they need to repair and strengthen themselves.
Exactly. It's like jump-starting the healing process at a cellular level.
Oh, wow.
Allowing those tendons to regain their function and their resilience.
So we're talking faster healing, less pain, and a return to activity.
Exactly.
That's a game changer for athletes, weekend warriors, and anyone who wants to, stay active and pain-free.
Absolutely. And, it speaks to the versatility of this technology. It's not just about treating a specific symptom. It's about addressing the underlying biological processes that are essential for healing a wide range of conditions.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now, from your perspective as an expert who's been really deep in this research, what do you think are the key factors that contribute to SoftWave's effectiveness? Why is it working so well?
I think, first and foremost, it's the technology itself.
Okay.
That patented parabolic reflector is a game changer.
Right.
It allows for that precise and deep penetration of the shockwaves.
Okay.
Really targeting the tissue that needs it most.
So it's about delivering the right amount of energy to the right place.
Exactly.
Maximizing the therapeutic effect.
And that targeted delivery is really what sets it apart from other therapies.
Yeah, some of those other therapies that are more diffuse.
Right.
Less focused.
Okay, so the technology itself is a major factor. What else?
Well, I think the fact that SoftWave is non-invasive and generally very comfortable for patients plays a big role.
Sure, that makes sense. People are more likely to stick with a treatment plan if it's not painful or disruptive to their lives.
Exactly. And, consistency is so important for achieving the best possible outcomes.
Now, we've touched on the potential for SoftWave to stimulate stem cell production, and I'm really curious to hear more about that.
Sure.
How significant do you think that is?
I think it's hugely significant.
Okay.
I mean, the early findings are incredibly promising.
Yeah.
The idea that we could be harnessing the regenerative power of stem cells in a non-invasive outpatient setting is remarkable.
It's like science fiction coming to life. I know, right? And think about the implications. If SoftWave can reliably activate those stem cells we're talking about, a potential paradigm shift in medicine.
Oh, wow.
We could be looking at faster healing, better tissue repair, potentially even reversing some of the damage that's been done.
That's a powerful thought.
Yeah.
Okay, before we move on to our final thoughts, I want to take a moment to connect with you, the listener.
Okay.
Have you tried other therapies for your chronic pain? What's been your experience?
We'd love to hear from you. Share your story in the comments below.
Yeah, because everyone's journey is unique.
It is.
And what works for one person might not work for another.
Absolutely. But by sharing our experiences, we can learn from each other.
Right, and support each other on this path to healing.
Exactly.
So don't be shy. Share your thoughts, and let's keep this conversation going.
Yes, please do. And that kind of brings us to a really important point about SoftWave.
Okay.
It's not just for, athletes or people with really severe chronic pain. It's actually FDA cleared for a bunch of different things, like activating connective tissue, improving blood supply temporarily, reducing pain, and even things like treating chronic diabetic foot ulcers.
Wow.
And acute second-degree burns.
Hold on. I knew it was promising, but I had no idea it had such a wide range of applications. It's not just pain management. We're talking about addressing some serious medical conditions.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so exciting. It's addressing these underlying biological processes, the ones that are really crucial for healing in so many different situations.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, we've talked about the science and all this potential, but let's get practical for a second.
Okay.
For a lot of people out there, access and affordability are major concerns when it comes to medical treatments.
Right, of course.
So where does SoftWave fit in? How does it compare to other treatments for chronic lower back pain in terms of cost?
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, healthcare costs can be a huge burden.
Absolutely. It's a huge concern. So, yeah, it's a great question. While costs can definitely vary, it's important to remember that SoftWave is non-invasive.
Right.
And that means no surgery, no hospital stays, and often, fewer appointments overall.
So right there, compared to things like, injections,
Right.
surgery, or even ongoing physical therapy, you're talking about a potential for big savings.
Yeah, exactly. And when you start to factor in things like lost work time,
Right.
less reliance on pain medication, and, just an overall improvement in quality of life,
Right.
the long-term cost benefits become even more clear.
So for those listening who are thinking, this all sounds amazing, but where do I even start?
Yeah.
How do I find a SoftWave provider?
Well, SoftWave has a growing network of providers all across the country.
Okay.
And they have a really user-friendly website
Perfect.
where you can actually search for a provider near you.
That's fantastic.
It's super easy to use.
Having access to that information is so important.
It is.
But let's say you found a provider.
Yeah.
You had your SoftWave treatment, and you're feeling some relief. What's next?
Okay, well, that's when it's really important to have a good, comprehensive treatment plan.
Okay.
It's important to remember that SoftWave isn't like a magic bullet.
Sure.
It's often most effective when it's combined with other therapies.
Right.
Like physical therapy, for example.
So it's not a one and done.
Right.
It's about working with your healthcare team
Yes.
to come up with a personalized plan
Exactly.
that addresses your needs and your goals.
Exactly. And that might include things like, targeted exercises,
Yes.
stretches, even lifestyle modifications.
Right.
To support the healing process and prevent future problems.
Okay, so we've talked about SoftWave's impact on chronic lower back pain.
Yeah,
But you mentioned earlier, it has other applications too.
it does.
Let's dive into some of those. What are some other conditions where SoftWave is showing promise?
Okay, well, we talked about diabetic foot ulcers,
Yeah.
which are, notoriously difficult to heal.
Right.
Traditional treatments, they often don't have a lot of success.
Yeah.
And in severe cases, amputation is like a real possibility.
That's a scary thought.
Yeah.
But you're saying SoftWave could offer a better solution.
Yeah, the research is very encouraging. It seems that SoftWave's ability to increase blood flow
Yeah.
and stimulate tissue regeneration is proving to be super beneficial
Okay.
in healing those ulcers that just won't heal with other methods.
That's incredible. Giving people hope where they might have felt hopeless before.
Exactly.
What other applications are there?
Another area where SoftWave is making a difference is in the treatment of second-degree burns.
Yeah, I've read a bit about that. It can potentially speed up healing,
Yes.
reduce scarring,
Yeah.
and even decrease the need for skin grafts.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
really changing the game in burn care. Faster recovery times,
Yeah.
less pain, and improved cosmetic outcomes
Yeah.
for patients.
So while our main focus today has been on chronic lower back pain,
Right.
it's clear that SoftWave's potential goes way beyond that. It's almost like we've stumbled onto this like a multi-tool of healing.
It's a great analogy. And what's really exciting is we're only just beginning to understand the full scope of what SoftWave can do.
It's like we've opened this door to a whole new world of possibilities.
Precisely. And this research is really highlighting how crucial it is to be open to new and innovative treatment options.
Yeah.
Particularly those that harness the body's own healing power.
Right.
SoftWave is a perfect example of that.
One thing that's been kind of going through my mind as we've been talking
Yeah.
is that SoftWave seems to be particularly effective in treating conditions that involve tendons.
Absolutely.
Have you noticed that?
Oh, yeah. We see it in the research on plantar fasciitis,
Yeah.
Achilles tendinopathy,
Right.
even tennis elbow.
Yeah. Those are all tough ones.
They're notoriously difficult to treat effectively.
And they can be debilitating,
Yeah,
keeping people from doing the things they love,
exactly. And they often don't respond well to, the traditional methods.
like rest ice medication, that kind of thing.
Exactly. But SoftWave seems to be making a real difference.
Why do you think that is? What is it about SoftWave that seems to be so effective for tendon issues?
Well, tendons are primarily made up of collagen,
Okay.
which is, this tough fibrous protein that gives them their strength and flexibility.
Right.
And it seems that SoftWave's ability to stimulate collagen production is key.
So it's giving those tendons the building blocks they need to repair and strengthen themselves?
Exactly. It's like jump-starting the healing process at a cellular level,
Wow.
allowing those tendons to regain their function and their resilience.
So we're talking faster healing, less pain, a return to activity.
Exactly.
That's a game changer for athletes, weekend warriors,
Yep.
anyone who wants to stay active and pain-free.
Absolutely. And, it speaks to the versatility of this technology. It's not just about treating a specific symptom.
Right.
It's about addressing the underlying biological processes that are essential for healing.
Right.
A wide range of conditions.
Now, from your perspective, as an expert who's been really deep in this research,
Yeah.
what do you think are the key factors that contribute to SoftWave's effectiveness?
Well, I think first and foremost, it's the technology itself.
Okay.
That patented parabolic reflector is really a game changer.
Right.
It allows for that really precise and deep penetration of the shock waves,
Yeah.
targeting the tissue that needs it most.
So it's about delivering the right amount of energy to the right place.
Exactly. Maximizing that therapeutic effect.
And that targeted delivery is really what sets it apart
Yeah.
from some other therapies that are more diffuse and less focused.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so the technology itself is a major factor. What else?
I think the fact that SoftWave is non-invasive and generally very comfortable for patients
Sure.
plays a big role in its success.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
People are more likely to stick with a treatment plan if it's not painful or disruptive.
Exactly. And that consistency is so important for getting the best possible outcomes.
Now, we've touched on the potential for SoftWave to stimulate stem cell production. And I'm really curious to hear more about this. How significant do you think that is in terms of SoftWave's overall effectiveness?
I think it's hugely significant.
Okay.
I mean, the early findings are incredibly promising. The idea that we could be harnessing this regenerative power of stem cells
Right.
in a non-invasive outpatient setting,
It's incredible.
it is remarkable.
Yeah.
And think about the implications. If SoftWave can reliably activate those stem cells we're talking about, a potential paradigm shift in medicine.
Oh, wow.
We could be looking at faster healing, better tissue repair,
Yeah,
potentially even reversing some of the damage that's been done.
that's a really powerful thought.
Okay.
Okay, before we move on to our final thoughts,
Sure.
I want to take a moment to connect with you, the listener. Have you tried other therapies for your chronic pain?
Yeah, we'd love to hear about your experience. It's really amazing to see how medical technology is evolving, and I think SoftWave is a great example of that.
Yeah, I'm with you. What I think is so cool is that this isn't just hype. SoftWave is backed by real science, rigorous research, clinical trials.
Exactly. We've seen, study after study
Yeah.
demonstrating its effectiveness for a variety of conditions.
And it's ongoing.
And importantly, the research is ongoing.
Yeah.
So it's not a one and done situation. Scientists and clinicians are constantly,
Yeah.
exploring new applications, finding treatment protocols.
Yeah, that commitment to scientific validation is so crucial.
Yeah.
Especially when new treatments emerge.
Absolutely.
It gives reassurance for patients and healthcare professionals.
Yeah, it helps to, separate the genuinely effective therapies
Yeah.
from the fads or the marketing gimmicks.
Right.
With SoftWave, we're seeing this growing body of evidence to support its use.
So for those listening who are intrigued by what they've heard today
Yeah.
and want to explore this further, what would be the best way for them to learn more about SoftWave?
Well, I always recommend starting with the SoftWave website.
Okay.
It's got a ton of information about the technology, the research,
Yep.
how to find a provider near you.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
And then, of course, you should always talk to your doctor
Absolutely.
or your healthcare provider as well.
Yeah, they can help you determine if it's a suitable option for you.
Right. Taking into account your individual needs, your medical history, all of that.
Right. All the factors that are relevant.
It's about making informed decisions and finding the best path to healing and well-being.
Exactly. It's a team effort.
Yeah.
Your healthcare provider and these amazing advancements in technology,
Yeah.
like SoftWave, working together.
I like it. Well, we have certainly gone deep on SoftWave therapy today. And I'm genuinely excited about the future of this technology.
Me too.
It have the potential to impact so many lives in a
Wow.
positive way.
I agree. It's been a fascinating deep dive, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for SoftWave.
As always, we encourage you, the listener, to continue exploring, dive deeper into the research, ask questions, engage in these conversations about new possibilities and treatments.
Right. Knowledge is power.
Exactly. So until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep diving deep.
See you next time.